Hello, and welcome back to the Just Because podcast, a podcast about all things cosplay and life.
Yeah, life. That's a good one. This cosplay podcast and life features me, Mangle Phantom, and also
Me, Marmalade.
welcome back. Now,
It feels good to be alive.
it feels great. Let me tell you,
I
this
love
is
that you started it with that.
well,
That was
this
nice.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Look, season 2. Did
You reckon?
Yeah. Look, we had a break of about a month.
Yeah.
We're actually forcing this episode a little bit, right?
We definitely are.
We haven't done content for about a month, and we're feeling itchy. And
Jeremy's feeling itchy. It's not
Yeah.
the headband you're wearing.
no, that's great. So I made these because we did our WCS introduction video tonight.
Yeah.
We watched the light from the sun get fade darker and
Yeah.
darker and darker. So we have to change the camera settings over and over.
Yeah.
She made us these wonderful flower crowns, which I didn't think to end up using mine because I don't think it kind of suited my outfit, unfortunately. But she looked
okay.
wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have that WCS intro video.
It's
out.
funny because we were like, oh, we'll just film it inside. We'll film it in here, like where we do the podcast. It'll be fine. But then, like, as we were about to film, we were like, you know what? Let's just go outside.
Let's go
and
outside.
then, yeah, we were fighting with like each shot getting darker and darker. So
We
but
wanted,
then
yeah.
we
Look, we wanted
realised-
to go to like on a South Bank, or
Yeah.
if we had, we just don't have time. We've barely got time to record this. Like she's got work in 11 hours, but we're bringing you the freshest content because it's what we want to do. This is part of what we actually want to do.
How do you think the video turned out? Excited to see
I'm
it?
excited. I'm excited to see it. I think I was more worried about the audio more than anything
Yeah,
else. Honestly,
me too. Yeah.
Because we don't have like a beautiful Blue Yeti microphone to pick up our voices.
Outside, we didn't have a boom mic holder.
No, we had a shotgun mic, which was good up until you see why it's got all that white
winds.
noise.
Yeah.
Just the shotgun mic on top of the DSLR's got so much white noise that I couldn't do it. So we ended up using our phones, and the phone picked up me a little bit more, picked up her a little bit more. So we'll figure something out. You'll see it in August.
We'll see. We'll see.
August. Are you
Yeah.
prepared? Are you
No,
psyched up?
I don't know. I feel like a year is such a long time to like think about, but in reality, it's gone very fast. Yeah, I think a lot of people I've spoken to have sort of agreed that like, how's it already April? Like it's insane.
April. So we've got all of April. Well, we're about a weekend now. So April and May, June, July. So about 3.5-ish months.
Yeah, and everything's like due. I think a month ahead of time.
I'd like to get our competition costumes done a month ahead, and then if we have to like just rush out whatever.
Well, I think the build book will be due a month in advance.
Oh, that's good.
Based off what I remember.
I'd like to not be rushing anything,
No,
which is what
no.
we're talking about in this episode.
It sure is.
It's about rushing and cramming things together. Now,
Yeah.
we mentioned, I like what you said at the start. This is season 2, so first episode, hopefully of a string of things that we'll be doing whenever we get time. Life has been kicking us up the bum lately. But, you know what? Here we are on it's a Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night. She's got work tomorrow. I've got to walk a dog tomorrow.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
It's great.
It's great.
I think everybody's quite busy at the moment. So Golden Over is next weekend. Are you going?
I should be at least one day.
Yeah.
I bought a new suit.
Oh.
Just because I felt like it, one of those things. Okay, I'm doing Wolfwood from Trigun.
Yes.
So I've seen the new Trigun. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet. I've just watched the old one.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Let's get a suit. And also, I can cosplay at the same time, but I thought I haven't bought it. I've got one suit, but now I've got 2. Will I have opportunities to wear it? I want to make opportunities to wear it. I don't know. How often do you get to wear a pretty dress or something?
Pretty often
Pretty
now that we
often.
have this podcast.
There
but
we go.
Yeah, a lot. I feel like it depends, like formal wear.
Yeah.
Not very often.
Not very
Yeah,
often,
not very
yeah.
often. But I feel like it's like you can make occasions. Like I think you're never like underdressed. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you can always go
absolutely.
to things and dress up a bit fancier than you need to.
I was thinking, actually, because we had our joint birthday party
Yeah.
about a month ago.
No.
No,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
God, a month flies far out. Because my birthday is a day before hers, so it's like let's just chuck it together because we're better friends now. And I think in the past, like, hey, you want to come to my party? She's like, you want to come to my party? And we just miss each other completely. So we did a joint thing this time, and it might have been a nice time to dress up a little bit, but it was still quite hot from memory.
Yeah, because it's
still
summer.
not the
I
right
dressed
weather.
up. I don't know about you.
You did.
Dressed up.
I wore a dress shirt.
Yeah.
And
I feel like wearing a suit in Australia is always gonna be hard. I always
winter.
like every time I see the people in the city, like in the office jobs, working in their like sweatsuits. They're like, I just like look at them like, how are you surviving in like 30-degree heat? Like it's just unbearable.
it's not
Without
great.
an aircon office to go
Yeah,
back to.
I mean, they probably wear those suits indoors because they have to, and they take off the
Yeah.
jacket straight away. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, bought a new suit. I don't know if it's going to be too hot to wear it next week.
Yeah.
But
To the beach.
to the beach. I was like, I don't really want to make anything which is too complicated before next week. I've got his cross in the garage. It's just a pile of boxes. My housemate's got an old mattress box. You know the mattresses, they come rolled up in a box?
The the duvet. What are they called?
Just a mattress where they roll
Okay.
up and they factory seal it in the air pressured airtight vacuum seal.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they do that to the mattress. They roll it up really tight. They vacuum seal it. They chuck it in a box. And so when you take it out of the box,
It explodes.
It explodes. It like slowly rises like
Oh.
bread in the oven. It's awesome. Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So if you've
Okay.
considered buying a new mattress and they get it delivered, that's mostly how to be delivered.
Yeah, like one of those koala ones.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
the koala mattress. You've seen
Yeah.
those ads?
Yeah.
I'd like to try one day, but they're like $800.
They are. One of my roommates got one once, and it comes with a little plushy koala.
It's
It's
cute.
really cute.
That's
yeah.
how they get you. That's
Yeah.
how they get you.
It is.
I got a cheap one from IKEA. Same thing though. It comes rolled up in a mattress. The mattress comes rolled up in a box. Anyway, and that box became the pillar of my prop. I'm just gonna tape some boxes
I
together.
love that.
And
Yeah.
wrap it in calico.
Recycling, reduce, reuse,
Reduce,
recycle.
exactly.
I love that. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah. So instead, I bought a bloody suit and I got it. I paid someone to alter the pants.
Wow. So you're like really cosplaying next weekend.
I'm actually cosplaying. Did I actually make anything in terms of the costume itself? Absolutely not. Am I going to use the same black wig I've used for the last 7 black-haired characters?
course you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I thought you were doing the blonde guy.
Oh, Vash.
Yeah.
He's a bit too cool and pretty for me at the
Okay.
moment.
Well, you should go see Benny because Benny's cosplaying.
He
Bash.
is. I believe one of his housemates is doing the guy I'm doing,
okay,
which is fair. Like, you do you. I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably go down Saturday. I don't think I'm gonna go the whole weekend. It's one of those cons in which I'm like, yeah, I'll see everything in a day, maybe half a day, and that's it. And I don't think I'm gonna make 2 costumes a year anymore for each con.
No.
It's getting to that stage in which I'm just like, one costume for one weekend
Fair
is more than
Until
enough.
inspiration strikes.
Till
then
inspiration
that's fine.
strikes, but yeah, I've still got a few. Do you still have a lot on your list of costumes to do before you die? Do you have like a list like I have to get these costumes done before I die? I'm unsatisfied with my cosplay career.
I don't have many. I think it's a short list.
Short
yeah,
list.
yeah, I definitely.
Remember you
think it's
mentioned
a
there was
short
Marco
list.
from Soul Eater?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, I have a few. I really would like to make a card captor Sakura.
That's cute.
Of some kind. I'm not sure which specific outfit, but of some kind.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then I really like Madoka, so I really want to make like a
Still some magic girls up your
actual
sleeve.
Madoka. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there Sailor
magical
Moon on that
girl.
list somewhere?
No, I've never seen Sailor Moon.
Right. Interesting.
I never got to watch it as a kid, and I feel like now it's like lost that like
That magic.
relatability. It's like a bit hard to watch now. For me personally.
Yeah, no,
when I
that's
watch
fair.
it,
That's
yeah.
fair. I
Yeah.
because my last partner loved it. Same thing. Grew up with it, and so I did watch old reruns of it. It's one of those things I think you could just kind of sit down and eat pretzels or make a costume and just have it in the background.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch
Even
it too
watching
much.
Sakura, like Card Captor Sakura,
Card
I'm
Captor
a bit like,
Sakura.
oh, this is the same thing every episode, but different villain.
Just different villain, different card, and then it went on from there.
Yeah.
So that was the very first manga I ever bought was actually Card Captor Sakura, right? But it was the second season.
Yeah.
So after she'd gotten all the cards. And this one was kind of focusing more about her budding relationship with Shaoran.
Yeah.
And
Adorable.
this manga I bought from EB Games, it's like our local game store in Australia, back in 2005 or 4.
I don't think they even sell manga
They
anymore.
don't.
No.
They don't. But they did for a very short period of time,
Yeah.
right? And there's a very limited range. But I was just like, wow, what's this? A comic book of anime? I love this. So I bought it, and that was my very first one ever.
Yeah.
I've now sold it to someone else.
Yeah.
But as weird as this, that was my first manga. That was my first exposure to, I guess, a gay romance. because I didn't know that the brother and his best friend like had a thing. I just thought it was two dudes just being like, oh yeah, cool, and it was just a bit awkward for some reason. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later I'm like, oh, it all makes sense. This is me being really sheltered, mind you, so I didn't really know much about the ways of the world.
No.
But yeah, that was my little experience with Cardcaptor Sakura.
That stood out to you? Yeah.
What was your first manga ever?
Manga ever? Oh gosh, I don't feel like I could remember off the top of my head what the first one. Because I remember
First
going
one that
to
you
the
bought.
library.
Did you buy any?
Yes, because I found Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle at the op shop.
Yeah, yep.
I think I remember finding volumes from it, and I bought a few. But I do remember going to the library and there being like such a big range of
things.
Library book like manga from the library that you could borrow. So I don't remember like buying too many. As soon as I found out that there was from the library, I tried to borrow instead.
It's good because I've got a big bookshelf of things I've read, 2, 3, 4 times each, and then just sits there.
No.
It just sits there. It's a bit of a shame, but
I think bookshelves are a nice thing to have, but like for me it was the money. I was like, I can't afford to buy like a $15 book every day.
I mean, on my Woolies wage when I was in high school, I went to a trip to the city once every month or so, just to hang out with friends or something. But my thing was go to the city, buy manga on the way back home, and that was it. So it kind of built up my collection bit by bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I never asked, are you going to Supernova next weekend?
So, no, unfortunately, one of my family members has invited me to his wedding, which is very
Unfortunately got invited.
Did I say that?
You did.
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, that date.
Yeah.
Because I say unfortunately because PAX also last year
I remember you
happened
missed
to
out on
clash
PAX.
with a family wedding. So I'm now like, again? But no, I don't know if I would actually go anyway because I feel quite apprehensive towards Supernova as a company still. And I feel that even as a convention, it's not that enjoyable to go to. I love the beach. I love where it's at. But as a convention, the event organizes itself. I don't really align with the way that they run their events.
That's fair. That's
and
absolutely fair.
Even I remember the cosplay competition. I think they've changed it to be like, there's no judges. It's a luck of the draw.
Did see on
whoever enters.
I did see
wins.
on the website. It was one of those things. It's just walk on, walk off.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. They said something like, it's coming back. Not quite there yet, but we're coming.
It's a week away, surely. I think they've decided because Pip's entering. I think Pip said she's entering on Sunday, so I'll have to see from her experience of it. But I've entered enough to know that I hated the way that they treated me and the other entrants of the competition. So I just can't support. I don't want to support them.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. It's really weird because even in Brisbane, I just think we're running out of cons.
We are. There's 2 in Brisbane.
There's just Supernova at the end of the year.
Yeah,
and then
there's
OzCon
at the end of the year.
Middle-ish? There's nothing.
September usually, but I think sometimes they have the homegrown little event that happened in March or April, February.
Was that just a one-off or?
I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I think they started doing them after COVID, but yeah, we're really lacking in conventions.
They're gonna have to start flying places.
I mean, we are flying.
We are flying. Go to Japan in August, and you reckon you'll do Smash in July?
Yeah, absolutely. I've already booked it.
What?
You're not going?
I'll go. I haven't booked anything.
Yeah. I've booked my flights, I've booked the accommodation,
Holy crap.
I've booked my leave off work.
Is that because Mitch has booked his stuff already?
No,
or?
he hasn't booked anything.
You just booked yourself?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah,
I love
right.
Smash, yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know you've booked everything.
I told you, I'm sure I did.
You said that you were going, but you never told me how I've booked everything.
Okay, well, when I say I'm going somewhere,
yeah,
I'm
right. Not wasted time. You'd be
No.
like, hey, Jeremy, by the way, I'm going to WCS. Everything's booked. I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to be going too.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you booked anything? It's like, I thought we would talk. Like, no, I'm done. I'm not waiting for no one. Better watch out.
Sometimes you can't wait for people to make plans.
You
Sometimes,
can't.
If you're going with someone, but I know that I'm gonna get myself to Sydney anyway, so
Right.
can't wait for anyone.
Do you have any collab events happening in Smash in particular? You know.
Collab. So I think that there's a few in the works, but I'm not sure what's confirmed yet. So I don't want to announce them.
Yeah, true.
Don't want to count my eggs
no,
before they
counting
hatched.
eggs before they hatch.
Yeah, but I am looking into a few collab opportunities.
That's
what about
cool.
you?
I've got nothing. Nothing planned, nothing on the horizon. I don't think, honestly, I've been as active as you have been in terms of hey, I want to get this, I want to collab with these people, it might have this result, maybe not, but it's worth asking. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have as many close contacts in Sydney. I think I've got a few more in Melbourne, but I've gone through that friendship scale, the 1, 2, 3, 4 level, the tier. Unless they're like a tier 3 or 4 friend, I honestly don't feel too comfortable with just messaging people, saying like, "Hey, you want to do X, Y, Z." I think it's a great thing of what you're doing, but I just can't think of too many things that I'd like to. I think collab with in particular.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's fine. Maybe you just haven't explored the
options,
wide
the
range
opportunities,
of people that exist in these communities.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're definitely involved in a lot more communities within the cosplay community than I am.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even debatable. You've got idol stuff.
I feel like it's been easy to rope myself into these things.
Several different things.
Yeah. I mean, what's holding you back?
That's a good question. I don't think I've really done as much traversing as you have around the different scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe you can try it out.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
You said you've been interested in D&D recently.
That is something I've been meddling with.
Yeah, I feel like there's quite a big community of D&D
there is
people out there.
I'm going. Okay, number one, I've played one game as of today, Easter Saturday. I've played one game.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'll be doing my first game.
Hell yeah.
So I'll see how that goes, but I don't know the ins and outs of it explicitly just yet. And so when I walk up to someone, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'll know a little bit. I won't know a lot. And so there's a part of me that's like, oh, I hope they don't go too technical with these things because I'm not going to know anything yet. I'm learning. I'm getting there.
You gotta be a beginner. You gotta be kind of bad at something.
I'm going there
first
somewhere.
Step to be kind of good at something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I did actually go down to PAX. I know that's something you missed. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
I'm going this year.
you should. It's fantastic.
I will, unless another family member decides to get married.
I won't say
stop them.
No, don't say don't get married. I was going to say stop getting married. No,
stop the love.
Don't not get married. Just plan the dates around the conventions a little bit.
Great.
The few conventions we have left,
literally,
that we hold dear, that we can still go out and
every other weekend of the year.
Actually, how often do you think that you catch up with friends who are cosplayers outside of conventions?
Seems to be more frequently because I think with the J-pop, like with Melody Parade, with the events that we've been doing like Genki Market and these local like kind of events around Brisbane, seem to be seeing people a lot more often. That's like cool. Outside of conventions, but they're still like events, so it's hard to say. And like P Club Picks Terry has been doing these like meetups and events. So he did like the Maid Cafe, he just did Alien Night Market like events. So there's lots of opportunities to hang out with people. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people once a month. Yeah, consistently.
Right. That's kind of nice though. Do you feel like those smaller events are probably, I won't say replace conventions, but do you feel like they're a good kind of, middle ground? It's not like a full-blown convention where you get to spend money and buy merch, which is part of a convention, but, I think a big part of cosplay is just socializing in general, right? So those smaller events seem like a good like warm-up, I suppose, for a bigger event in the year. Is that something that you feel like you go to more frequently?
I feel like they're definitely a better opportunity to like connect one-on-one with people and have like more open conversations, whereas at a con you're always rushing to the next thing, or like there's so many other people walking by that might distract you, or the other person, or someone will run up to you and be like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long, and then like you get lost away in all of this sea of people. But I feel like these smaller events, it's a lot easier to sit down in like the last meetup that Terry had. It was like sit down restaurant, so you could like sit for hours with like a nice meal and a nice drink and like just talk and chat, and very like low-key setting. It was nice.
Low-key setting, because it gets to know people bit by bit. It's one of those things I don't think we really had for a long time. The funniest thing, the first one I think I ever remember going to, one of those, there was an old convention called Animania. I don't know if you remember this back in the day.
I remember seeing photos of it in DeviantArt and being like, I can't wait to go to that. And then we died.
Were we just too young to go to cons at the time? Or?
Yeah, I was like 14.
Yeah, right. You weren't missing much, I'm sorry to say. Especially towards the end, it really took a nosedive. It was just weird. Like, you go to a con, you go to the con hall like a Sunday, and there were aisles. You know the aisles like aisle stallion stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 people walking around. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, like there was a part in which it had like a very small event in Brisbane. It was just like the lobby of a hotel, and it was one day. It was a sad day. I quite liked it because it was similar to that. Very, low key. People kind of show up and just chat to people. It wasn't like huge vendors or anything like that. There was a guy just selling Pocky.
Yeah.
Like it was that small.
Hell yeah.
But there were some people who were like me, who were probably 14, 15, 16 at the time. It's like, I don't want to pay $25 to not do anything. So we held this thing instead of Animania, they called it PPM. They called it Poor People Mania. It was literally in the park next door to that hotel, in which people just rocked up in cosplay. And that was it.
No way.
Yep.
That's terrible.
That was a thing. It happened about 2 years, maybe?
PPM.
PPM.
It's a real thing.
It was a boycott because they really didn't like
Yeah,
Animania.
you've never told me about this.
Yeah, so...
That is crazy.
It's crazy. I vividly remember kind of walking... I remember wearing my first costume ever, so I was 16 at the time. Walking over, bloody hot day, everyone's bringing a snack or something. I brought some bottles of water, which got snapped up. But that's all we did. It was just a bunch of young weebs just running around, taking pictures together on our little digital cameras that were about this big. And that was our day, just PPM.
Amazing. Yeah, PPM. Wow.
PPM. Again, that was a boycott of that convention, and it wasn't like an actual convention.
So is that why it died out?
That's a good question. There's a bit of a history to Animania.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the details, so I'm really not going to say too much for anyone who is listening and does know the details. I'm happy to be cleared up on it. But from what I believe, there was their main hub was in Sydney, and they were actually the hosts of WCS.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So before Smash held WCS, it actually used to go through Animania. Now, Animania. Oh, there's stories. Anyway, I think what happened one year, because I do remember flying down, I did an evening.
So was it in Brisbane or was it in Sydney?
It was both. There was
okay.
a Sydney one, there's a Brisbane one, a small one.
Yeah.
There was a small one in Melbourne and Adelaide for a while.
Okay.
Like, it was doing well.
Yeah.
But over time, it's like, oh, no more Adelaide. Oh, no more Melbourne.
Okay.
Oh, no more Brisbane. Just Sydney this year.
Yeah.
And it could have, I think it was just a combination of both people who organised things and sponsors. Now, I think this was the kicker. So there was a time, I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of bootleg merch going around.
Yeah, I do remember
A lot of bootleg merch going around. Like, there's still some around these days. If you guys ever see bootleg merch at a convention, and you know it's bootleg, like, please tell someone
You
about
went to
it.
report it, I think,
Please
right?
report it. I
Yeah.
did do it to somebody.
Yeah.
And they definitely changed their stock the next day.
Oh, wow.
So it was very quick. At the same time, I had a guy who was like, hey, Jeremy, just, double checking. I heard you talking XYZ about this people. They're mates of ours. Just want to see what's going on. Just straight up said, hey, look, I noticed some stuff. Reported to someone. They're sorting out. That's just what I saw. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, I don't think that they're a bad person or anything. They might be. Selling bootleg. Don't sell bootleg stuff. Gosh.
No.
Basically, there were, I think at Animania, there were people selling bootleg stuff.
Like the big play games store. Like, right?
Yes,
Yeah, they
yes.
always sell bootleg.
Play
and I'm
games,
like,
please,
what
please
is
skip.
happening?
But at Animania, I believe that there were bootleg stores, quite a few of them. And I think Madman was one of the sponsors at the time, a big one. And they were like, yeah, look, they're selling that. We don't want to be associated with this. We need you to pull them or we're done. I don't think they pulled them. So Madman left. And I don't think... God, this is back in 2010 or something, right? 2011. There weren't many big, anime stores or companies in Australia about 10, 15 years ago. So without Madman, it's like... What do we got? So it was just a bunch of bootleg merch at a whole con. I think that's what happened towards the end of it.
Interesting.
So, bit of history about Australian conventions in that regard.
No, because Mad Men was like a prolific entity distribution company for films and TV.
Absolutely,
for
absolutely.
Years, so
Got bought out by Crunchyroll.
yeah.
And then Crunchyroll's done a bit of...
They got bought up by Funimation.
Funimation
then...
bought out Crunchyroll. Oh wait, Funimation bought out Madman.
Yes.
And then Crunchyroll bought out Funimation.
Yes.
Learning,
They
we're
all
learning.
got absorbed.
They're all it's one entity.
Yeah.
I'll say it's the Netflix of anime, but Netflix has got their own anime now, so it's a bit they're a competitor in their own right.
Would you ever start your own convention?
I have
you
thought
about
about it.
Yeah,
I really
okay.
have. Have you? thought about or pondered
no,
it?
I've never considered it personally.
I've probably run this idea by before, like having like a cosplay ball. So
Oh, no, you haven't.
I haven't?
No, that sounds so fun.
It's a thought, and I have looked into it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of things to consider. Obviously, it's like number one, venue hire, biggest thing.
I know a lot about that.
Yeah, you absolutely do. So venue hire is one thing. Number two is what is actually going to happen at the ball. Is it literally going to be like your high school dance where there's just the DJ playing music?
Yeah.
Or like if it's going to be a ball, like sit down dinner? Are you going to just have refreshments and stuff like that? After that, you have to sort out catering. You have to sort out entertainment. Is it going to be anything like a convention, or is it literally going to be a ball? That being said, if that's the case, it's very likely to just be 18 plus event.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be probably likely alcohol served.
Yeah.
There might be, I don't know. At the same time, is it an event in which, someone who's, wants entertainment, there's not going to be that kind of thing. Like the whole goal of the evening is to dress up fancy and socialise with people. I don't know, drink some make-believe champagne and eat some olives. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that sounds wonderful. But to someone who's like, oh, I don't drink and olives? Ugh. Like, what am I going to do, right? So, few things to consider. I think that's something I would like to do.
So your cosplay ball, is that on your list of things to do before you die, as you questioned me before?
It's funny. I think I'd like to go to one.
Yeah.
I think there's somewhere in like Rockhampton that does one. But
Really?
yeah, there
Yeah,
is. There
okay.
is. I don't think I'd want to travel all the way to Rockhampton for a ball. If it was like in a bit of a bigger venue, I think it'd be nice. Then again, you went to Neko Nation, obviously,
Yes,
right? So
yeah,
anyone who doesn't know,
once.
the Legend of Neko Nation, it's a cosplay clubbing event, right? Same thing. People get dressed up, they get wasted, and you have fun at a club, right?
There's entertainment though. There were live
There were
performances.
live performances.
and
I believe
bands,
you were
yeah.
part of the entertainment
Yeah,
one time.
yeah.
So, but they also had things like, I don't know, juggling and fire bending
twirling,
and
yeah,
stuff.
eating all sorts.
Yeah, it's just, a good social event.
Yeah.
I tried my first puff of cigarette, and I almost threw up, and I said, this sucks. Why do people do it? So, never again. That was the only puff I needed. But in terms of like how, and this is again thoughts, how would a cosplay ball be any different? Because it's going to be in a similar capacity. And it's like, all right, venue, people want fun music. You're like, yeah, let's be all fancy and play some Mozart symphony numbers, like whatever. It could, but I'm like, I don't know, people want to dance and have fun. That's essentially what it is. I don't think it's going to be all. As much as you want to wear Miku's Cantarella ball gown dress or something, right? I guess it's the interesting thing, because as a cosplayer, you know how much time and effort and money goes into making the costume. You don't really want to trash it,
No.
right? So, I guess these are just some of the things that I've been sorting out. And it's like, all right, cool, summer, winter. Thinking winter.
Yes.
No one wants to wear anything hot and
No.
sweaty in summer, right? So I think, all right, cool, venue. Like, because we're in Brisbane, so I was like, do I do it somewhere in the city? Not the valley. That'd be silly. Like, what venues exist in the city? So, again, these are some things I've just been thinking about. And I think about the logistics. I was like, yeah, I'm going to actually have to sit down and work this out. And if I want to commit to it, it's going to cost, a couple grand to set up in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want to go through that effort? I'm like, not now. But, I think that's something so to answer your question, is it on my to-do list? I think on my to-do list is attend one. If I have to organise the damn thing myself, I might have to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, is a cosplay ball something you think that's piques your interest?
I would go, yeah. I always wanted to. I remember someone thought about organising one back in the day, but I don't think it ever ended up coming to fruition, which is a shame, because I think I could see it working if it was done well and like marketed right with enough time, like for people to save up and obviously plan like a fancy cosplay, like because that does take time.
Yeah.
But I think I could see there's a lot of community halls and like also hotels that I feel like could be good venues for that. Like, but again, yeah, that would take a lot of work setting up. Maybe you should go to Terry and pitch this idea to him and see what he can do, because he seems to be able to pop up events everywhere.
Yeah. I think for someone who's passionate about that kind of thing, it's like, I like sorting this out and making it work.
And he's got the reputation as well that he's held quite a few events now.
That might help,
that he's got a really good base of people who always will come.
That's cool.
Like 80 people at least who will always come.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think for something like a ball. I'm just thinking, again, just logistics, because I know the events that Terry's had, it's been like $20 a pop or whatever it is. And that covers the drink, and I know some gets put into the organiser's pocket, which is fair enough. But I think for a ball, it would be like $50 to $100.
Oh, for sure.
Per
Yeah.
head, so
I would imagine the same. Yeah. Depending on whether it's catered or not.
I
know that like as soon as you want to organise your own event with alcohol, it gets tricky. You need like licenses and everything
stuff
for
like that.
RSAs and all sorts of venue license.
So yeah,
things.
that's where it did get tricky. I was like, oh, got to do some research. So it's one of those things that's like, idea I'll flit about in my head one day, but it needs to be one of those things like, it needs to flit in my head consecutive days for it to actually happen. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So that's where it is. But tell you what, I'll tell you right now. So today's Easter Saturday, April the whatever.
April the whatever.
April the whatever.
7th or something. But yeah.
So we got
6th or
3.5, 3 3/4 of a month before we go to Japan, right? After Japan, we'll sit down the podcast again, talk about experiences, and I'll think, all right, is it time to organise a ball? Let's figure it out.
Hell
maybe,
yeah.
maybe
like
yes,
that.
maybe no.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds like, hey, this is so cool. We can make an annual event. People can fly in from all over the country.
Wow.
Hey, baby steps. Maybe we'll start off in some little
steps.
community hall and be singing, I don't know, Kumbaya and Macarena together. Who knows?
Hey, it's a classic.
Classic things.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of classic songs, I mentioned very briefly, it's like, let's talk about cramming, but this podcast goes wherever it wants to at this point.
It flows.
I don't think there's really one topic we managed to settle on comfortably, because I think there's always a story or two that pops up. Because Maura and I haven't seen each other in about 3-4 weeks. We said with 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
three.
right? And we said, oh, yay, let's catch up. So we do our 40-second WCS intro video out in my driveway. It looks nice. It looks cinematic. The lens is nice. The colours are great. I like it, okay? It's in my driveway.
We haven't reviewed it yet.
We haven't reviewed it.
We haven't even backed up the footage yet.
It's still in the camera we're recording on
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose that
Which is
SD
naughty,
card. Don't
isn't
worry.
it?
Well, I'll get it sorted.
Okay.
I'll get it sorted.
Yeah.
We've both got stuff to do.
Yeah, I know.
Before I do anything, I will
Remember what we said, don't count your eggs before they've hatched.
I will subtitle it and I will send it to you before we send it off to where it needs to go.
I don't know if we subtitle it or if they subtitle. They said they will add subtitles.
Right.
Yeah, that was in the little
All right,
brief.
cool. If that's hopefully they can understand our accents. It should be fine.
I think they will. I think they've had to subtitle other Team Australias before. So.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Okay, what? Oh.
Pretty sure the guy who does the narration is Australian.
Is he?
Have you not heard his voice like from Team? Is that American?
You don't know the difference?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's an American accent.
That guy? It sounds so Australian.
It
No,
could-
he's 4,000% Australian. I'm gonna bet.
Is it?
Right here, right now.
Anyone
He's like,
who's listening,
"Introducing
if you know Ed Hoff,
Team Australia.
it could be Ed Hoff.
No,
It's
the
not
other
Ed
guy,
Hoff.
the tall one,
Ed Hoff?
who's always the presenter.
Not Ed Hoff?
He's Australian,
Is he?
I think.
Who's the presenter for WCS? Let us know. You think we know our knowledge, but
I
we
know
don't.
my law. I don't know his name, but he's definitely Australian.
Do you know Ed Hoff?
No.
No,
You know Ed Hoff.
I know Ed Hoff. He's like one of the
Name
like
dropping.
he's like one of like the creators of WCS.
Yeah.
He came to visit Australia once, and my mate Kenny, who lives in Perth now, who used to be the WCS president, he's like, "Hey Jeremy, this is Ed. You can show him around town for a day." I was like, "Yeah, all right." Little did I know, it's like, "Oh, this is WCS president or something, like the WCS president." I'm like, "Wow, all right, cool. Just a normal dude, just whatever." But it felt a bit interesting, so I'm like, "Oh, I suppose I'm good mates enough with Kenny. Yeah, all right, I'll share around." Yeah, just nice enough bloke. But you know, when I was 19 or whatever, and he's like 33 or 34.
Yeah.
I don't know, 38. There's not really that much I can talk about it with outside of, you know, whatever small amount of cosplay I've done.
Cosplay, yeah.
And even then, he's just like, "Oh yeah, team, I don't know, Thailand or something, left this Alphonse Elric cosplay behind when they finished up in WCS. It was too good to throw away, so I just took it." And I asked him, I was like, "Yeah, you can take it." So the next day, he rocked up in this amazing Alphonse Elric suit, which he just got from WCS. Like, it could be a similar case with Lewis,
He
right?
rocked up in cosplay.
No, the next day at the con.
Oh, the
The
con.
next day at the
is it?
con. It's like, "Hey, Jeremy, can you
So
saw
you're
around
showing-
Sydney?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Showing him around the city, and then he shows up.
Shows
in
up.
Edwick.
in Alphonse Elric.
Oh my god. In full
Yeah, big
cosplay.
brother, I'm gonna eat that when I get my body back. Like that, it wasn't like that. It's fine. Very much could have been. So yeah, I may or may not do the same thing with Lewis when we're finished. So we're gonna get a shoot done before we go.
You're gonna leave him in Japan?
I don't know. Like, look, realistically,
So sad.
I would be too. I'll bring the backpack with me because I need that for my wings.
Yeah.
That's the same backpack I use. But look, realistically speaking, when am I ever going to wear him again?
You might want to wear him to a con, to your ball.
To a ball. Yeah, right. You imagine
Fancy,
dancing.
yeah,
Oh
formal
god, just
dancing
dancing.
with Lewis.
I fall on someone, they'll die. This isn't gonna work. Lewis,
True.
you need to stay home, buddy.
True.
And we talked about this before too. Like, if you drag out like a really
I think it would be really fun to roam a con with him though. Like, yeah.
Oh,
Because you didn't get to.
I didn't. Now,
We didn't get to go around the con at all.
here's a good question. Have you ever roamed a convention in a big outfit before?
No.
In which you couldn't actually... You could see them, they couldn't see you, like your phone.
No.
It's fun because, like, wow, recognisable. But it is quite isolating. And that's one thing I didn't really like about doing competitions. Number one, always backstage or anxious. Or two, you're in this big costume which no one can see. Like, wow, this is a great costume. Can I get a picture? Get the picture. I'm not talking to anyone. And that's one of the things I did start doing after I stopped doing comps for a while, was just like, I'm just not going to do big things. Let's do small things.
Yeah.
And I did get the chance to talk to a lot more people. Same thing, reason why I don't like wearing costumes with helmets or masks. And like, if you manage to do that and you have a great social time, you know something I don't. Because, I don't know, I just found a lot more fun not having to deal with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, would be fun. If there was like, I don't know, a Promised Neverland convention or something, right? Or there's like, hey, the author's coming to visit. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, right, now I'm coming out, right?
Yeah.
But those are probably the only exceptions. Because
Yeah.
I don't think... Others was like, wow, what's that big thing? That's kind of cool. But,
You don't think you could repurpose it for another outfit if you needed to?
have you seen any Star Wars before?
Yeah.
Can you remember the first move, General Grievous from the first movie?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Someone
that-
mentioned, it's like, hey, that'd be a great General Grievous
Similar
frame.
build, yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, I think you should.
Just a matter of bringing it back and
I know.
storing it.
I know.
There's another thing. You know what rentals are like. Ew. Ew. And like stilts, I'm sure I could find some use for them
Very,
again.
very useful, I would say.
But look, I'll send him back on a boat. I'll send Lewis back on a
fair.
boat. And if I see him again, great. If he lives at sea, I hope he lives a good long life.
That's so sad.
But
We're
I'll-
taking Palvis out before you're shipping him.
Hey, Lewis might need some company.
No,
Are you saying Palvis is worth...
Women and children off the boat.
Right.
Off he goes.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He needs a bit of company. I can't let Lewis go by himself. Like, Lewis is in the garage now with Palvis, and they're keeping each other company.
Let's hope so. We haven't checked on them in 6 months.
It's been a while.
7.
He got home
8.
okay. But that's because we drove him by
9
Hambo Road.
months.
9 months. That's flown by so fast. How do you feel?
Like I haven't done enough.
Well, you know what we have to get done, right? We've got a little list. There's a lot. You're a busy lady, and I'm taking care of what I can.
I wish I already at the start of the year said, oh, I'm gonna get so much done like ahead of time. I'm gonna be really organized, gonna kind of like take this opportunity and make the most out of it. And I feel like, oh my god, I looked down and did some work, and I look up again and it's 3 months away.
It's April.
Yeah, which is insane. And I feel like these next 3 months are gonna go even faster.
You do have the entire month off before
2 months off.
2
before.
months off, so
Yeah,
that's
which is
going to
good.
be very
Yeah,
handy.
very handy.
I'm going to start chipping into my... Like I said, I've just got to fix up some hands and feet and make some, what do you call it? Poles? So when I sit, all the weight comes off my shoulders.
Stilts.
Oh, it comes off. That's
Stilts? What are
pretty
they,
much
crutches?
it. Crutches? Oh! No, because even if I use crutches, the weight's still going to be on my shoulder,
Big
right?
crutches.
I'll put crutches on the frame.
On the frame, yeah.
frame,
Yeah, you need crutch frames.
Crutch frames.
Frame crutches.
And so just before we go off on stage, you just kick the crutches out from
Oh,
beneath me.
God.
You'll get
Doesn't
to...
sound good.
Well, it's got to be done. Just as long as you don't...
Yeah. How do you feel? Have you been powerlifting?
This... Like I said, I just made the fingers.
Yeah.
That's how I lost one of the fingers. I have to get it laser cut. It sucks. But that's the first time I've done any cosplay since last year, pretty much.
9 months.
Apart from making that box in the garage.
Yeah.
And buying a suit.
Yeah.
If you count that as work on cosplay, it's something.
You cosplayed for an episode of the podcast.
We both did, but actually you've done more cosplay than I have. You've been dressing up, you've been at shoes.
You went to a meet?
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was last year. Was there another one this year?
Yeah.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, fun?
Yeah.
Do it again?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got another one coming up at the end of this month.
Why am I not seeing this?
I don't know. You follow him on Instagram?
Not sure.
You should check.
Yeah,
That's why he posts all about his meets if you're a local Brisbaneite.
Where's the next one
come
at?
to these meets. Where?
Yeah.
In City, I believe. I need to double check.
What's the date of that one?
I'll show you afterwards.
No, that's good. We can advertise it.
Oh, I will have to Google it then.
Google it,
Give
yeah,
me
right.
seconds.
Is it after Golden Nova?
Yes.
After Golden
The
Nova.
last weekend of April, I believe.
Right.
Cosplay.
Have you been cosplaying to the last few meets?
Yeah.
Or have you just been like, let's go in civvies today?
No, I went in cosplay.
What's the next
This
one?
is gonna take me so long to find it.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just chill. We were thinking about like, let's talk about cramming cosplay, but this is just cramming life at the moment. It's just a matter of putting everything that you can into life and making the most out of it. If you don't know, Maya has been studying film at uni. She's working several days a week at a job. She's running an idol group and running herself, hopefully not running yourself too hard. Nothing guaranteed, right?
It's easy to burn out when you do so many things.
You do so many things, yeah.
That don't fulfill you, but I can't find this.
That's okay. We'll find some deets and we'll post something.
I'm sorry,
later.
Terry, you name your things too difficultly. Is this it?
Is that the one?
Cosplayers and Photographers Meetup 0.5.
No, 5.0.
Thanks.
0.5 is like half a meet.
On Saturday the 29th of April from 1:30 to 6:30.
Gee, 5 hours. It's a big one.
Already, I think 83 people registered to
Wow.
go, so it's a lot. Theme of this event will be my favorite cosplay, and entries $20 per person.
My favourite cosplay. What's your
It's the
favourite
first one
cosplay,
of the
Mom?
year. I don't have one.
You don't?
No.
What's your favourite one at the moment?
Emma.
Really?
Emma!
Emma!
I just like looking at it and be like, heh.
Emma.
It's like jacket and jeans, but it's
Which is so...
it's getting me to Japan.
Can you believe this is a world championship costume?
I stare at it and I'm like, heh, it's green and gold.
Hey, patriotic.
Yeah.
Funny thing. Do you want to talk about WCS feedback that we got?
We can.
Just
I don't remember it.
Just touched on
entirely.
it. So by now you probably would have seen what Maya and I did for WCS back in July last year to qualify. So we did Emma and Lewis from the Promised Neverland. If you don't know it, it's on both our Instagrams. You'll find it. I'm almost twice as tall as her in stilts and a big thing on top of my head. It looks very menacing and blah. And Emma is, like she said, it's a very well made pair of jeans and a top and a jacket with pockets, all made out of drill. No, not drill. Plate. Corduroy. Corduroy is very, very thick material. In fact, her gun's got too big. She might have to redo the arm bit because it's quite...
Yeah, they are very tough.
If you've been working hard, woof, you're going to have to.
Been packing so many cross buns.
Oh, you're just going hard. I'm just using that chin-up bar over there. If I just had hot cross buns, wouldn't even need a chin-up bar. But the feedback we got, you might be thinking, like, wow, big monster thing. That looks pretty impressive. Like, yeah, it looks pretty impressive. But it's like, wow, Jeremy, look at this monster. We've got some things that need to be fixed. And let's take a look at Emma. No, it's perfect. Nothing wrong. Perfect. Not a thread out of sight. So, believe it or not, Maya carried this entire thing.
No, it didn't.
It's all up to you.
No, because I sewed Lewis's outfit too, so that feedback is directed at me.
I mean...
The hat, a lot of parts of Lewis need
I don't think
remaking.
they mentioned it, because the hat came off.
Yeah.
The hat came off. I
The
think
hat looks terrible.
Don't worry. The hat... Okay, that was from...
See the straw
that was from battle damage. From taking the hat off.
Maybe.
It could have been. But everything else just like, one's got to make that better. I have to build a cannon now, I found out.
We do. Because we can't take a pressurized cannon in an airplane. It will explode.
I'm going to try something before I build that cannon.
Okay.
It's like I need to find the biggest balloon I can. Have you seen it?
Biggest balloon.
Okay. No. So someone said,
I've seen big balloons.
Well, basically, what they said is get like a cardboard tube. I might get a PVC tube. Cut off the top of this balloon, strap it to the bottom of the tube, and use it as a launcher.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. If it works, it works. I'm like, I don't have to build anything. We can take this on a plane or sweet. If it doesn't work, it just goes like, I have to build one. We're going to have to do it.
We'll see. We might be using some kabuki style, like, theatre techniques. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you showed me.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Please do.
We have some very great advices from the WCS, like, alumni. Will and Kay have been very lovely to respond to our messages.
The cool thing about Team Australia is it really feels like Team Australia. It doesn't feel like just 1 and 2.
No.
Because we've had, like, input from, past representatives and other people who are also competitors in the scene. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's not just like,
backing us.
It's nice. It's fun.
Yeah.
Do you know, actually, your sister's coming over.
Yeah.
My housemate's coming over.
Yeah. Beth's coming over. Jack's coming over.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I can't believe your roomies are coming over.
Well, he's going for a Grand Blue Fantasy
but
tournament. But he's going to be there with us, probably closer than Brisbane is
funny.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Hell yeah.
I think the other guy, I don't know what they're doing, but I'll find out for them. One's already in Japan right now, so he's just like, you know what? Yeah, I work enough. I'm going to Japan, so he did it. So there we go.
Yeah.
You been before?
My roomie's about to do that.
You been to Japan before?
No.
First time?
It's both of our first time. We've talked about that.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. It's our first times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
We're going to be like, whoa! Whoa!
Hey, look at that! No, look at that!
Yeah.
No, look at
Oh,
that!
right. Yeah.
What are you doing after? Because you said you're staying another 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Are you staying until the 20th as well?
Yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you flying out from?
Tokyo.
We might be on the same plane back as well.
Yes.
We might be.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
What else are you doing on the trip that are you planning for?
We've planned a few things. We're gonna do like I think a week in Osaka, and then we're gonna do like
You going to the Miku concert as well?
yeah, we're going together. We've talked about this.
I don't think I've mentioned the Miku
Keely
concert
and
to
I
you.
have talked.
Oh, Keely's probably been talking with you then.
We're going together.
Oh, are we going to be...
What?
Are we also hanging out after WCS?
Probably.
That's unexpectedly
You're getting
cool.
so excited. We'll see because we've already booked hotels. So
Are you guys doing Osaka first and
yes.
then Tokyo? We might be hanging out.
Yeah, Osaka and then Tokyo for like 10 days.
Okay. Quick question. We got to wrap it up pretty soonish, but okay. Say it was just it doesn't have to be just us, but say us with a bunch of friends. But it was up to you and I to pick where we're going next in Japan. Where would you pick?
Either number 1 location, like Tokyo Disney Sea.
Disney Sea,
I really want to go. I've never been to Disneyland before.
Neither
and I
have
really
I.
want to go.
Who's your favorite Disney character? Let's say classic Disney. Classic Disney.
What does that mean?
Like no
3D animation?
No 3D animations. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like any of the old ones that much. Like the hand-drawn.
Donald Duck. You don't like the hand drawn. You don't like Donald Duck. Oh God, we need to have a talk. Do you have a favorite modern Disney then?
Heaps. I like lots. I really like.
But you don't like the hand drawn stuff.
Like it's just very outdated. Some of the concepts in those story tales are a little bit
problematic. To be
in
fair,
my
the
opinion.
storytelling itself,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, let's say character design, characters are like, wow, that's cute, that's cool. What do we do there?
Design.
Oh no, just the character you look at, it's like, wow, that's cool and cute. I like that. They are my favorite now. I felt like that about Donald Duck.
Are you talking about like the mascots?
Just a Disney character, like, well, let's say mascots. What does that count as? Like Mickey and
Yeah.
Goofy? Yeah. Okay, let's go mascots then, if that's the definition.
Is Winnie the Pooh Disney? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, the one where he's wearing a red shirt, that's Disney.
Yeah.
The one where he's naked,
Yeah.
not Disney.
Okay.
I think it's R.J. Milne or something is the OG creator.
I don't know.
But because that guy is
sure.
now long gone and the 70, 80 years has passed,
I swear I've seen.
You can
Winnie
now
the Pooh
officially
at
make-
Disney parks. So
yeah, like that iteration, the one with the red shirt,
Yeah.
that's Disney.
interesting.
But Disney itself, I think, is now a public IP, so you can
Yeah.
now make your own Winnie the Pooh comic books and
Okay.
sell them if you wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to?
Ooh, it's on my to-do list, I suppose. I just really want to go to Super Nintendo Land, or the Nintendo Land.
Me too.
That popped up.
I heard so you have to get to the park really early because you have to buy it. Once you get to the park, you then have to buy the ticket to get to Super Nintendo World.
That's what's making
and
me...
apparently it's like sells out really fast.
That's what I'm tentative, because even Keely was just like, you sure you want to go? The line sounds stupid.
Nah, I want to go.
Let's do it. I still want to go. Just wear a Mario hat. Who's your favourite Nintendo character?
I always don't know who to choose. Every time I'm like on the like.
Say you play Mario Kart.
Or Smash.
Who are you
Brothers.
gonna pick in Mario Kart?
I usually pick like Peach, I think, or Daisy.
Peach or Daisy?
Yeah.
Just like girl power, star
Classic,
power,
yep.
love. I have one love in Nintendo, and his name is Donkey Kong. He showed up in the new Mario movie, and I was ecstatic.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
I haven't seen
It's
it yet.
good.
I
Like,
wanna go
it's
see it.
if you're just there, watch it to have a good time, enjoy what they present. It'll be fun. If you're gonna start nitpicking, it's like, this story doesn't make sense, that characters, you're gonna hate it. But if you're just like, hey, this is fun, great film. Just do it.
Just be a kid.
Just be a kid
Walk
and
in,
enjoy
be a
it.
kid. Okay.
Ignore the fact that Chris Pratt's Mario, and it's good fun. He didn't do a bad job, arguably. Honestly, people.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't
so
seen it yet.
I don't know.
I would say watch it, and then it's like then you can make your choice. So. Anyway, that's our ramble. That's our 45, 50-minute ramble. We have to cut some a little bit short. Like I said, Maya has got work in less time than before, and she's just getting pretty tired. And we recorded this very late on a Saturday. But thank you for doing this podcast with us.
It's okay. Thank you for listening today. We hope you made it to the end, and if you didn't, that's okay too. We'll join you next time with a little bit more, maybe value.
We'll
you.
This was one of those ones that we just wanted to pump. Like, look, let's get something out. I'm sure we missed them. We want to talk in front of this little microphone again and put something out on camera. I love it. Next time that we talk, we're gonna have hopefully more energy, more time, and we'll bring some more value to this podcast as we usually do. We've actually got quite a few new viewers since we've been away. People loved Cosplay TikTok. We've said it before, we'll say it again. If you have any ideas or suggestions of stuff that you'd like to listen to, or you'd like our humble, possibly odd opinion about that you'd like to hear about, let us know. Send us a DM. Comment something. Send us a picture. Keep rating us on Spotify. Whatever you like to do. Actually, I showed you too. We're one of the top-rated cosplay podcasts on Spotify, which is pretty cool.
How cool is that?
Thank you.
I remember when we first went looking, we were like, let's see what other podcast, like cosplay-related things there are out there, and we couldn't find too many, so it gave us that extra motivation.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, we can do this. Let's try it out. So for anyone who has been listening since day one, we really appreciate you. Anyone who's just tuning in or has discovered us randomly somehow, we really appreciate you as well. Like I said, we are aiming to keep this podcast going at least till after WCS. So after August. After that, we don't know what the future is going to hold, but that's going to be our tentative goal for now. And we'll see how it goes from there, hey? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
but
sounds good.
We'll keep optimistic, and who knows what's going to happen. But
yeah.
If you're cramming cosplay, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be a topic about cramming, but I hope you're cramming well. We'll bring you more value in the next topic, whatever the next topic's going to be. But thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
See you next week.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.